Well, I say hello, motherfuckers, and welcome to the video, man. Today we're gonna be talking about UFC 247, Jones versus Reyes. Man, this is not a shit card, folks. Man, this is a decent card. Um, and what I'm gonna do, man, is I'm gonna give y'all some odds for the fights, man, and I'm gonna give y'all my picks, and I'm gonna break down the fights a little bit, man. So sit back, you know what I mean. Make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying the content at the end of the video, and let your boy know. All right, first fight up, man, and I don't understand how this is the first fight on the main card. I think I think there is two fights ahead of this one. Uh, that should be below this. I think this should be the third fight on the card, in my opinion. There is 5 fights on this card, as most pay-per-views are. Derrick Lewis versus Latifi, folks. Now, Derrick Lewis is coming off a win over Ivanov, and Latifi is coming off of 2 losses to Uzmir and motherfucking Anderson. Now, Latifi is a heavy wrestling-based guy, which Derrick Lewis has struggled with before. But if you look on the screen, man, you're talking about a 6'2", 260-pound man going up against a 5'8" man. They saying 205 because that's what he weighed in last time, but he fought at 205. I'm guessing now Latifi will come in close to 220 pounds, 215, 220 pounds, something like that. So he'll be giving up almost 40 pounds or more to Derrick Lewis. And when you're talking wrestling, folks, that's a lot of motherfucking weight to be giving up, man. Now, Derrick Lewis has struggled with wrestling before, but once he's gotten taken down, he has always been able to pop up, especially from side control. So, my pick for this is simply Derrick Lewis going second round. I think a KO second round. Now, Latifi is a plus 220, and Lewis is a negative 280. He is favored in this fight. Now, it's not a big difference, but he's still favored in this fight. I like Lewis in this fight. I think Lewis will be able to do enough to keep Latifi off of him. Remember, that's a lot of man to move when you're trying to wrestle. Now, the next fight, man, is going to be 2 guys I don't know a lot about. I've done a little back on them and stuff like that. Hodge, I believe his name, how you say it, is coming off of a win. And Beckett, I guess that's how you say his name, is coming off of a loss to Emmett. Now, both of these guys are pretty much identical, 5'7" to 5'6", 70-inch reach and 71-inch reach. So, Hodge is actually the underdog in this fight, and I'm actually taking Hodge in this fight. It's a 115 to a negative 145 for Beckett. Beckett, I guess that's how you say it. I don't know, but I am taking him. Their striking looked about the same. How many punches they've absorbed and how many they dish out. So this one should be a close one, and I'm taking odds for the win, and I will be putting a little bit of money on this one. So my money's going on odds, folks. That's one of those fights that I thought the Derrick Lewis fight should have been. I thought that fight should have started the card. And then I believe this fight should have came next, which is Juan Adams versus Justin Tatha. And then I think after this fight should have been the Derrick Lewis and Latifi fight. Both of those guys got a way bigger name than all these guys here. Juan Adams and Tatha is both up-and-coming fighters. I think Juan Adams has had 3 fights in the UFC, and Tatha has had 1. Tatha lost to Castro. Will be his 2nd fight in the UFC. Adams lost 2 fights going into this. Last one against Hardy that I lost a lot of money on. Adams is a negative 230 favorite in this fight. Tatha is a 180 underdog. Now, I'm a little bit on the ropes about this, man, because Juan Adams, I've talked to him on Twitter. He seems like a really good dude, man. Really does. But I put my money on Tatha to win this fight. I think he gets it done in the 3rd round, either decision or ground and pound in the 3rd round. I believe it goes to decision, though, and Tatha wins this fight. Now, like I said, I believe the Derek Lewis fight should have came after this one. I believe both of those guys, Latifi and Derek Lewis, have a bigger name than these guys. And I don't get it, man. Both of these guys here, man, you're talking about 4-inch difference, 6-inch reach different with these 2 guys, and just a whole lot of motherfucking muscle up in there and power and everything else, man. And Justin Taft is a dog, man. In his last fight, I thought he was winning that fight, and he ended up losing. Both of them weighing in at like 265, right about that. So that should be a decent fight right there, folks. I think the Lewis and Latifi fight, I just don't understand why they fed Latifi to Derek Lewis. I understand Derek Lewis wants to fight, and so does Latifi. But, man, you just fed your man Latifi in his first heavyweight fight to the beast. Probably the biggest man in the UFC. As far as what he cuts weight to and everything, he cuts weight, but to get into heavyweight. So, I don't know why they did it, but they did. So, we'll see what results out of that, man. Now, the next fight is Valentina versus Caitlyn. I think this is a complete one-sided battle, and Vegas agrees. I believe Valentina has probably the best striking in MMA, stand-up game in MMA. I believe she definitely has the most technical and crisp stand-up in females. I know a lot of people's going to say, but Amanda Nunes. Listen, Valentina is way more crisp in my opinion. She's way more technical with her fighting style. She's like a fucking artist in there, man. She does art. She paints portraits. Very good fighter, very good stand-up fighter. As her record shows, 18-3 versus Caitlyn. I don't know how Caitlyn got this shot. She's ranked number 1 in my opinion, and I was looking at her last couple fights. I don't see the names there that got her to 1, but I guess if you're winning, you're winning. You know what I mean? She is a plus 750 underdog. The biggest spread right now is Valentina with a negative 1,400 as a favorite. Now, if you're a betting person, this would be the fight that you would hope would go one way and put money on Valentina. I'm not putting any money on this fight because I believe Valentina is going to destroy her. I believe Valentina is probably going to get her out of there now this is a 5-round fight. I believe she'll get her out of there within 3 rounds. Stoppage, TKO, however you want to say it. I don't think she'll knock her out, but I believe it'll be a TKO. Hopefully it changes my mind and this is a better fight than what it is, but I believe Valentina is going to just go in there and put on a fucking clinic. Like I said, man, Valentina, you gotta respect her stand-up Probably the best in MMA, definitely the best in female MMA out there. Now, the main event, folks, we got Jon Jones, the GOAT. Don't argue with me in the comment section. He is the GOAT. The man has never lost. He's got the 1 no contest and 1 DQ on a man that he was destroying. That he landed a knee or elbow. Jon Jones has went through the class that he came in, the next class, and now he's working on the next class with guys like Derek, with guys like Corey Anderson, Reyes, and all them. Reyes is undefeated. Reyes keeps talking about age, but he's only 2 years younger than Jones. 2 years younger, man. And I know Jon has that fight experience. He's been in there a lot longer. Now, I want y'all to remember, man, Jones has never been knocked down. Jones has never been starched in a fight. So Dominic Reyes coming into this fight, his only shot, in my opinion, is the KO. Now, if you look at the reach of Jon Jones, he the same height as Reyes, but his reach is way longer. Now, Jon Jones has been known to do nasty elbows, and people have said when he fights, the way he fights as in his elbow reach is timed in with your reach. And that right there is such a technical fighter. In his last fight, people wasn't impressed with his last fight. But I'm going to tell you right now, Jones is a technical fighter. He did fight for the decision win last time. He outpointed, which was a very, very close fight. Now, how do I think Dominic Reyes can win this fight? I believe if he rushes Jon Jones like nobody has done before and puts pressure on Jon Jones, that would be the way he could win. He cannot stand outside and let Jon pick him apart. That is not going to work, folks, in my opinion. Now, get to the odds on this one. Jones is a negative 450 favorite. Reyes is a plus 325. If you're going to put money on Reyes, plus 325 isn't bad odds. My money is going on Jones, just because I believe no one in that division right now can beat Jon Jones. And I'm not too sure if Jon goes up in weight, there's too many people that can beat him there either. I can't think off the top of my head anybody that can beat him right there. Miocic would be a motherfucking fight that I would love to see. Francis has the power to hit anybody and knock him out one time, but if Jon Jones goes up to that weight and builds that weight properly, can he take down Francis? That should be seen. But listen up, folks, man. That was my talk on this card, man. It's going to be an amazing card. And listen up. I myself will be doing a live play-by-play of this event on Saturday on my YouTube here. So, if you want to come back and watch that with us, chat it up in the chat, man, and enjoy the content. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn those notifications on, man. I will be live trying to do my best play-by-play, man. And I have checked out some of the other guys, and I'm going to tell you right now, I believe my play-by-play has been the best so far. But as always, man, appreciate y'all stopping by. I'm out this bitch. Peace.